Hey everyone, Griff Hanlon here. Welcome and thanks for joining me today. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about some sort of basic blues rhythm, and in particular, a different approach to blues rhythm and to rhythm in general, and it's what I call a subtractive approach. And the problem that I see a lot is people try to sort of memorize the pattern, a strum pattern of some sort, and that can be very, very useful, but that doesn't necessarily help your ear. And so what I want to try to do today is to show you how to listen for kind of the fundamental pulse or the underlying groove in a track or a piece of music, and get used to sort of playing along with that, and then using what I call subtractive rhythm to pull some stuff out and make a pattern out of it, but without ever really changing what you're doing. So it's kind of a neat thing. So what we're going to do is I've got a little jam track right over here. And what I'm going to do is this is just a very kind of a slow shuffle blues in G. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. And the first thing is I'm going to just sort of get my right hand going along with the music. And this is really just about keeping a beat. Now, for some folks, this in and of itself is going to pose a challenge. And if it does, this is something that you want to do a lot. Just turn on the radio. Turn on the radio and strum along to everything. You don't have to play a single chord. Just get that right arm moving. This is a big key to rhythm in general. All right, so here I go.
1, 2, 1.
So right
2,
away,
3.
actually I'm going to stop it. Right away you hear the count. Now of course you don't always hear a count in, but in this one I have a count in. So I can hear the click and I can hear the count in. Every time you hear 1, 2, 3, 4. Every time you hear a beat, your right arm should go down. Okay, that's the downs. The ups are the ones in the middle. Okay, now this is kind of a swing feel.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So right now I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of coasting along. I heard a chord change. You can kind of hear the bass changed. But this is nothing fancy. I'm just playing along. It's a blues in G, so I know what the chords are going to be, because I know how a 12-bar blues works. So I'm just trying to keep up. Okay, so right now, that's all I'm doing is playing along. Now I'm going to add in the chords, but notice you're going to hear every strum. And so on and so forth. Okay, so that was a very simple example. All I did was try to keep up. And again, as I said, for many people, that could be a challenge. But assuming that you have a song, okay, like I was listening to Drift and Blues by Eric Clapton. It's a blues in E. As it goes by, E, A, because it was a quick change, right? That would be the first step. Just playing along, staying with the band. You're striking you're just hitting everything. It's a big mess. I realize it's a big mess. We're not muting anything out. We're not stopping anything. We're not trying to do any of that. Right now, we're just building your time. We're building your ability to listen to the band, to stay right along with it. That's the most important thing, okay? If you can't do that, nothing else is going to work out. So we're making the chord changes. We're, keeping time with the band. Now we can start to subtract. We can start to pull some stuff out. Now, if you've followed me for any amount of time, you know that beat 1 is one of my tried and true favorite places to pull something out of. So watch what happens if I start pulling out of beat 1 and I just start playing beats 2, 3, and 4. All right, same track. I'm going to use the same idea.
1,
but now for beat 1,
2,
I'm just going to miss
1,
the strings.
2, 3, 4.
So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. have a pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and notice that on beat 1, I sort of relax my grip. Okay, I want silence. You know, subtractive means we're taking out, we're removing. So I want silence. You can mute, but your right hand's kind of busy. So if I just relax, you know, just relax my fingers on my left hand, let them fall against the strings, I got no sound. All is well. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, now blues is fundamentally a backbeat style of music, blues and rock and roll. Beats 2 and 4 tend to be the more dominant beats, as opposed to classical music where beats 1 and 3 tend to be more dominant. Okay, so that's where the term backbeat comes from. So what if, since I subtracted from beat 1, what if I also subtract from beat 3? Okay, so that would give me, you know, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, something like that. So how's that going to sound with our track? Well, let's check it out.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not bad. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And in fact, that's a pretty good approximation of a blues rhythm. You know, I would obviously get rid of playing the whole chord. 3, 4. And you have to do some muting and stuff like that. That's a topic for another video. But the little chords work great, okay? Now, what if I don't want to blow away a whole beat? In other words, what if I want to do some ties or some ands and stuff? You know, 1. And strike some of the ands. Well, that's fine too. If I say I'm going to blow away beat 3, well, maybe I'm not going to blow away the up part of beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's fine too. This is one of those things where it's what you hear. But now, like if my arm is just moving and I just think to myself, I want to hear okay? See, my arm's moving. If I can hum it as my arm moves, if I can hum it, I can play it. That just means hit the strings on those strums. That's all there is to it. It's a very mechanical, physical act, okay? If you can imagine what you want to hear, if you can get the sound out of your mouth, and it doesn't have to be in any particular pitch, but if you can get out of your mouth what it is you want to hear, if you can hum it, as I often say, you can play it. So if your right arm is moving, you know, if I've got my little track going, 1, ba 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 ba. Every time, because I can imagine it. If I can imagine it, I can play it, and if I can imagine it and I can hum it, it'll be able to come out. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense to you. I know it's an unusual way to look at strumming. I often say this is letting your right arm keep time for you, but it's really one of the most fundamental things of playing the guitar in any style of music, but especially in blues. As much as I love great blues solos are only 10% of the song. So what you do in the other 90% has a huge impact on what the band sounds like. So hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I hope you got something out of it, and I'll talk to you again real soon.